that game for having all A's. We don't know. Maybe he deserves it. Maybe the other kids are on punishment. We don't know. So it's being able to say, hey, I want to teach you the benefits of sharing. But to enforce or teach people, because we know pretty much all of us were taught to share. Like, I don't think there was many of us that like, you need to share. That doesn't make us any better. A lot of us have resentment because when I get mine, I ain't sharing it with nobody. What up? It's Three Brothers, No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, joined by co-host Razi and Buff. Fellas, tell them what's on your minds.
Very, very brief for me, man. I just want to thank everyone that expressed concern and wish me words of safety and well-being at work yesterday. We had it was supposed to be like a January 6th part 2. We had a protest for people defending those that got locked up on that day. And, law enforcement in the city and around the Capitol was definitely taking it very seriously. We didn't know quite what to expect, but everything turned out all right. But from family to friends, I just want to thank you guys for letting me know that you were thinking about me, and everything worked out. So thank you for the good works.
I'm just glad you're safe, man. I was thinking about that all day.
Yeah, definitely, man. So
how was it? No, they acted right?
Just full arrest, but overall, it was a small turnout, and anything close to January 6th. It's how protests should be, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw like some interviews with the people that were there, and those folks were so misinformed. Like, they were like, oh, it was peaceful. January 6th was peaceful. And what do you mean that they assaulted officers? And like one guy was like, show me the video.
I saw that.
And when they showed the video to him, he's like, oh, that's not assault. He just kind of used his hand to push him away or whatever. That's not assault and everything. I was like, wow. Like there's no getting through to those folks.
It's not
at all.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you saw the annoyance in my face. I mean, I was just trying to. Sometimes it's just, why are these people allowed to?
No, you know what it is though. Like, I've heard about, like Jim Jones and David Koresh. And I was alive for David Koresh, but I was a kid, so I only followed it, but so much. But you look at those stories and you're like, man, how could anybody like follow someone like that? And then it's like, you look at the former president and the grip that he has on his followers, man. It's like he literally, the truest thing he ever said was he can shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square and he wouldn't lose any support.
The only thing I would add to that is he would not lose support. He might gain some support in the world we live in, which is scary, which has me extremely fearful for the next election.
I don't follow anybody like that, man. God, it's crazy, man. Like, they hang on his every word.
Exactly. At first, when you were like saying Jim Jones, I went to the rapper Jim Jones, and I still was like, yeah.
No, that's, you know what? That's why I added David Koresh. Because if I had just left it at Jim Jones as my example, you would have been like, balling was hot for a minute.
Yeah, he got a whole cult.
Leave it to Razi, man.
My bad.
Are you surprised?
Did y'all see when he fell off the stage, though, at the Versus? There's a video of him falling off the stage, man. It's hilarious.
You still following him, though, Razi?
Nah.
Was it him falling on the stage? Is that how he lost you?
No, it was that he wasn't a great rapper and artist. So there's that.
No, I forgot you're a true hip hop head, right?
Yeah. No, not really.
I was gonna say, no, he's not. He likes the city.
I mean, according to him, maybe
the city
5 episodes ago.
I am a student of the art. Like, I follow hip hop. like in all of its forms. So there's a little difference. Like you said, hip hop heads are like
they're snobs
bougie when it comes to it. They're like snobs, yeah. So
and because you have subpar standards, you're just a student of hip hop.
Subpar standards. No. Like I wasn't on with mumble rap. Like I wasn't down with it, but I understood it. I followed it. I couldn't knock them for doing it when we listened to Silk the Shocker and everything else. So I mean, there's that. There's always been bad rappers in the game, and we followed them.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So, anyway, so I got a couple things. First of all, Netflix is getting into gaming. So they just announced that. That is huge. So anybody who's listened to or watched Black Mirror Bandersnatch, I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It was almost like a choose your own adventure movie where it would go so long and then it would make you choose how you wanted to react to the person inside the movie. And then it would go from there based on how you chose. So you could watch it over and over and over again and choose different things and actually have a whole different movie.
Those were the dopest books in the world, dog.
Choose Your Own Adventure was so fun, man. I love those books. So, but yeah, they have movies like that now. And so Bandersnatch was one of them. And Netflix is doubling down on that. And they're saying that they want to get really hard and heavy into that and have some mobile gaming as well inside of the app. And so, you know, I'm laughing all the way to the bank with all my Netflix stock. Like, oh yeah. But yeah, that's going to be huge for them. If they can do it right, they'll be the first to kind of pull it off. And because Google's tried it with Stadia and Apple has it on Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus and all that. So Roku has a little bit of gaming. So Netflix is trying to do it. And since they already had a platform with 1 million or so many subscribers that they have, however many they have, it's going to be really, really good for the stock. So just take a look at that when it drops. Be on the lookout. But
is that for selfish reasons?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I can make more money. It's all about me. And on my thought and tip, I just want to know, did you guys know that SHEIN had a men's department? No. Do y'all even know what SHEIN is?
Well, you know, absolutely I know. Not. You know, I know.
Well, yeah, you know, yeah. Tab's doing it. Yeah. And y'all go check out Tabby T on YouTube. She's doing all of her like haul stuff and everything like that. Y'all go check that out.
Have you been recruited by SHEIN?
No, I haven't. But it hit my feed, and that would be # or #HEIN. Yeah, that's it. But no, the SHEIN men's line actually is pretty dope though. I was really surprised at some of the stuff. It's like really trendy, but it's on trend.
You should get some stuff and kind of just model it on the show.
I am. So just be looking out for that. I don't know if I'm gonna do like an actual haul video, but
no, you do a haul video and you post it on 3 Brothers so we can get those views. Exactly what you do.
Can you do it live? Because I just, I want to be there with you. I want to.
Okay, all right. We'll look at it and we'll order some stuff. And I guess I got to do a haul video then. I wasn't gonna do it, but by popular demand, I guess I will.
There it is.
That's all I have, man.
Well, I'll say this. It's been a crazy week. So for you guys that don't know, I started a new job at the beginning of this month, and with a company that I've worked in sales for almost 15 years. Well, since I've graduated college and even before that. This is the first company I can really say that, and it's only, not even a month in, but I really feel passionate about what I'm doing. I think that's huge. I hope I like the sales thing. I know it's going to be a lot, and it's a lot going on, but it seems like it's a great company. And when you're looking into oncology and diagnostics, and that you can potentially make a difference in somebody's life, and from the research I've done, it's cutting edge technology, and it's going to be able to help save a lot of people over time. And I'm very excited about that. So that was pretty much the highlight of my week, outside of having my nose raped over the last week trying to get the COVID test, man. They need to find a better way, because It's not fun. I've had 5 different COVID tests in the last, call it 10 days. Yep. I did a rapid test. I did a rapid test and a PCR at the same time. Not this past Friday, the Friday before last. I did a PCR on Monday, and then I did a rapid test and a PCR today. Yeah.
Bruh. So,
Yeah.
all negative, though.
Yeah, all negative. All negative. That's the thing.
Positive thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and what's crazy in today's world, anything that has 1 out of the 20 COVID symptoms has you second guessing your life and what you do. You know, you got a sore throat, think I got that COVID. You sneeze the wrong way, I got COVID. So I had it's allergies. It's what I suspected, but just have to be better safe than sorry because it's serious right now. There's so many people in the hospitals, and you know there's not enough rooms for real patients. It's crazy. So, what else we got, fellas?
That's it, bro.
I had my fingers crossed. I feel like last time I talked to you, you were dropping Sophie off at sleepover. Right?
It was just a play date, and she came back, so she's here. Let me go get her.
I was just asking for a friend.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. I've come to the realization that I just have to be in the background. I'm sourcing these jokes and everything, but Sophie's the talent. I get it. It's cool. It's cool.
You like the Kanye behind everything. Like you gonna eventually break out.
Yeah.
You know, you make the beats and all that stuff, and
yeah, the dream. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there writing. But it's cool. It's cool. All right, hold on. Let me go grab it.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello, Sophie.
Hello.
I have a bone to pick
Hello.
with you.
What did I do this time?
One guess.
I don't know what I did. Oh yeah, I had a play date.
Yeah, and now you're gonna rub it in my face.
I just said you told me I had to guess, so I guessed.
And is there any particular reason that your favorite goddad did not get a invite to the play date?
Because you're really far away, and I don't think you would be able to make it on time.
Did you ask?
No, because I don't have your phone number. That's Daddy's fault.
Oh,
That is Daddy's fault. We
Wait, no,
do
that's
agree.
your fault. That's your fault for never telling me the phone number. You're always complaining about it.
No, Sophie, you were right the first time. You remember they say always follow your first mind? That's how that was. It's Daddy's
No,
fault.
it was your fault.
I feel like you're taking sides.
No, it's your fault.
I feel like you're taking sides, Sophie. Give me a joke. I need something to laugh. I've had a horrible day since we've had this conversation. I need something that'll make me laugh.
Okay. I've just released my own fragrance. Nobody in the car seemed to like it.
oh no.
I didn't do it. It was Daddy. It was Daddy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was
All right,
you.
Sophie, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Ollie just wanted. Whew.
Oh, Ollie did it.
Yeah, I can believe that. I definitely believe that.
Did it. Ollie did it.
Well, that was a good one, Sophie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Woo.
Man, I was riding with the
She's
homie.
pure comedy.
I was riding with the homie Gus to Charlotte one year for CIAA, and he broke one like that, and the windows were up. Because it's like in February, so you have to have the windows up, and it's one of those joints where he didn't tell you it was coming, you didn't hear it. Also, it was a solid assassin, man, and I literally for about 3 seconds thought I was gonna die. I couldn't believe a scent could come from a human body like that, dude. It was crazy. He's not on Facebook, but I'll find
Chili
a way.
Mac, who knew?
I'll find a way to tag him. But yeah, Gus, when you hear this episode, you was wrong for that one, dog.
The MREs, bro, they'll change your life.
Hey man, all I know is that little cheeseburger. I think I posted it one day. It actually is not bad. I kind of missed that cheeseburger.
Was it cheese? I thought you said
It's a
the
little dried pita
I thought you
bread.
said the meatloaf or the what?
No. What it does is it's it's a patty. It's a beef patty. And then they give you 2 pieces of bread to make a hamburger. And then they put ketchup and mustard in there, but you got to trade up to get the jalapeno cheese because it doesn't come with jalapeno cheese. So you got to trade.
Jalapeno cheese is a secret to everything. And
yeah. So you throw that on there. So now you got a cheeseburger. You got a jalapeno cheeseburger with the little meat patty and then 2 little breads. It's a little dry, but when you're in war,
yeah,
it gets it off. Yeah.
Or was it the traditional MRE bread?
Yeah, it was that bread, MRE bread.
That's just like leaven or something.
It is.
That stuff is like the stuff they had in the Bible, bro.
It's so thick.
That junk is so bad and good at the same time.
But try 2 of them though. Think about it, because you got to have 2 to make a whole hamburger. So you got 2 of those with the dry patty.
Bro, that sounds horrible. But I said I was gonna bring this up, bro. So you have a new addition to the household, right?
Who's that? Me?
Yeah. Olivia?
Oh, you talking about my housekeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Edith. Edith is clutch, bro. Like
some fancy people.
Nah, man. It's. We talked about time and the power of no and all of that on a previous episode, and it was just like how much is my time worth? And I weighed the options, and I was like, you know what? My time is way more than what I pay Edith to come clean this house. And so I was like,
how often do you have her come?
Every other week.
Yeah.
So she comes and she mops and does all of that stuff. So it's bruh, when I say it is the best money I've spent, it really is the best money I've spent. So it's well worth it. If you can afford that, or you can figure out a way to kind of squeeze that in your budget somewhere, I highly recommend it, folks, for real. Because, all of that stuff that you're doing on top of trying to spend time with the kids and trying to work and doing other stuff, it's real well worth it. So, and for me, I had to do it, man. Because the house was starting to look like a war zone in here. Like I clean, I try to clean. I'm a clean person, but it's finding the time. And not only finding the time when you do it and you find that time to do it, that's just time that you don't have to rest and relax. So every weekend it was just sun up to sundown, cleaning the house, trying to do the yard and everything. So I outsource yard work. I outsource that. So really it comes down to outsourcing everything that you can kind of find in your budget to be able to do that, man, so that you can spend time with the kids and concentrate.
So you have people now?
No, because if I had people, I would have to pay taxes on them. I have companies that come and assist me, and they invoice me, and I pay them. So I don't have people.
Okay, you got
Different.
people.
Nope. Look, the IRS be listening to us. Nope.
So, well, good job, man. I know you have a lot on your plate, including this beautiful podcast, Three Brothers No Sense. Go check us out, threebrothersnosense.com. And so you got to maximize your time. So moving on, who wants to go first?
I think it's on you today.
I feel like it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to probably put my foot in my mouth today because I feel like I haven't done that well in the last few weeks. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to pose this. So there was a post we made yesterday, as a matter of fact, where it was a mother and the father of the child going back and forth about the video game. Yeah. So I don't necessarily want to get into that post because he was, I feel like he was out of line by the way he talked to the mother and all this stuff. But it goes back to some of the comments that made me want to elaborate. So it's about co-parenting again. I think we discussed this or brought this topic up a couple of times. And so the post was the father reached out to the mother and said, hey, my son told me you took his video game away. And he bought the video game so he can play with his son and have time with him. And she's like, well, he didn't want to share with his brother, so I took it from him. And in this house, you learn how to share. And his comments, well, his response, I guess, is really irrelevant. But the whole point was he bought something for his child to do something. The mother did not like that the son did not want to share, and so she took it away from him and said, "In this house, these are the rules." My question to you is, how do you feel about some of these comments where the default answer was, if he has a problem with it, then he should take the child. If he has a problem with it, then he should take the child, and problem solved.
Yeah, that's a go-to. That response comes with the assumption that he doesn't want to take the child, or he never really tried to take the child. So before you make a response like that, that's something that you would need to know in order to effectively make a statement like that. I'm gonna start right there and just see what Razi got to say, because what if he is trying to get his child? What if he did try to get his child? Now what? Like, we know the court system favors, for the most part, women in keeping the kids.
Yeah, okay. And even if he's trying to get the child, let's say he did, and that was impossible, or it was impossible, for that to be the immediate response, does that say something, or you said your piece?
I said my piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Razi, what do you have?
I'm fussing with Sophie. She just in there bumping around. That's so.
Don't fuss at. Don't fuss at. Don't fuss at Sophie, bro.
Yeah, well, what you're not gonna do?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Parenting. No,
but Byron, if you have a problem with the way Razi raising Sophie, she can come stay with you.
I know, right? That's what she like seeing snow and all that good stuff. Yeah. She can come on up here.
And now Ollie's here. What?
Daddy, my back hurts.
Well, I can't do anything about that right now, man.
My back.
Yeah, you're probably growing. It's probably growing pain.
What happened when I got done jumping?
Yeah, because you were jumping around. You might have pulled something.
What did I pull?
I don't know, but get away. Go.
Tell him he needs a bacchiotomy.
First, Goddaddy first said you need a bacchiotomy.
What's that?
You got to replace your back.
Why?
Because you broke your back.
What?
It's spinal.
Did I?
Go, man.
He beat me to it.
Who, me or?
No, Razi with his spinal. My back is broken.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So none of that's gonna make the show. But anyway, to what you were saying, Ferg, I think it's a go-to because it's a cop-out, right? It's no different than go back to Africa. If you don't like it, leave. If you don't, it's a way to kind of push back at the person and try to shut them down, but at the same time, it's no essence or no substance behind it. Like Byron said, you don't know if that guy has fought for it. You don't know if that guy said, "Send me my son. I will take my son," or whatever. So I think that response is bull in itself. For the most part, you don't, like Byron said, you don't know what's been going on between them to know if he wants them or not. But on top of that, even if he wasn't going to be the custodial parent, he's still a co-parent. Like, he still has somewhat of a say in it. Now, can he be rude and disrespectful to the primary custodian? No, he doesn't need to. Like you even mentioned, like, he didn't need to say some of the things that he said or whatever. But when you start talking through, hey, I'm buying this thing for this one kid in the house, like, you can't expect a parent to let one kid have a whole bunch of stuff and then another kid not have inside of that household. Like, that's not going to happen. Right. So, I mean, he had unfair expectations of letting that boy play with that PlayStation, or that, I think it was a PlayStation, right? Or Xbox or whatever, play that video game without sharing with his kids or with his brothers.
Okay.
So-
Well, you got some buff?
I was gonna say just two things real quick. One, you want to try to always be consistent with your arguments, right? And you brought up this post, Ferg, but several months ago, we made a post where the father, I think he had like I think he had a 1-bedroom apartment, and the custodial parent, the mother, was like, I'm not bringing him over there. And the father was like, I let him sleep in my bed, or I think he let him sleep on the couch. I don't know what it was, but these same people were defending that woman too. So you telling me the custodial parent has say so in her house and the father's house? Like, it can't be both ways. You know what I mean? And
Well, apparently it can.
And then the second thing is, and this will probably be a topic for a different show, but do we need to rethink the whole sharing thing? Like, as adults, I know I don't share. Not that often. so sharing is overrated.
So you guys have definitely made my argument or my thought process a lot easier. So I'll address, well, since we just brought that up, Razi, about maybe 3-4 episodes ago, you kind of mentioned that you don't really force your kids to share. You're not teaching them that, because I think sometimes there are downfalls to, and you made me think about this, to just teaching them that you just got to share, that you're obligated to share. For what we made a couple assumptions on in just the last few minutes ourselves, that one kid has more than another kid. We don't know that. And if they do, that's a conversation that father and that mother need to have before things come into the household, right? At this point, it's too late. And addressing it as adults and not just reprimanding one or the other. So let me regress and say this. My thoughts on this is not to attack any mothers, fathers, custodial parents, people who are co-parenting and doing things their own, because we don't have all the answers. The reason I brought this up is because I had a similar conversation on another topic with a friend of mine recently, and it was, we so often want others to understand our views on things, where we are the person who has less power, be it sex, the male-female dynamics, race, black and white. We don't want, why don't they get it? Why don't they at least take a second to understand where we're coming from? And like you said, Byron and Razi, they have these cop-out responses. This is the way things have always been, so why would I change? So if this is your initial thought process, well, if he doesn't like it, he should take the child. I don't fault anybody for that being their initial response. But when we open up the dialogue and say, hey, why do you think that is the proper response? Or explain to me deeper why that's the proper response or the only response, rather than, hey, maybe that mother and father need to sit down and have a conversation about, hey, because A, B, C, and D don't have this, it causes conflict in the house. So if you want those things, keeping him at your house, hey, maybe it's a little unfair. Maybe I have to look out for the other kids a little more because he had such a strong father figure in his life. I don't know about the other 3 kids, but those are conversations. It's not the father's job. And I understand the mother has to take care of all 4 of her kids, but it's not his responsibility or the responsibility of that child to make up where others may lack. That's not his duty. If he's doing right by her and that child, then we need to have a deeper conversation, rather than, if you don't like it, then take him. You can't control my household. Is it that I can only be a parent as much as you allow me to be a parent? And then you wonder why, and not an excuse, a lot of men take a step back. I can't fight you on everything. I can't fight you on this. I can't fight you on that. You want me to be present. And when I try to be present, if it doesn't directly align with your thoughts, then I'm wrong. There's a problem. And now there's a battle, rather than, hey, I get it. what can we do moving forward? Rather than what me and my household, this is what we do. It's like, I get it, but that's still my son. And that sharing thing, bro, I don't know if we're worse off by just thinking we should share everything. Sometimes it's better to learn that you deserve certain things. You worked hard. We don't know. Maybe he got that game for having all A's. We don't know. Yeah. Maybe he deserves that. Maybe the other kids are on punishment. We don't know. So it's being able to say, hey, I want to teach you the benefits of sharing. But to enforce or teach people, because we know pretty much all of us were taught to share. Like, I don't think there was many of us said, like, you need to share. That doesn't make us any better. A lot of us have resentment because when I get mine, I ain't sharing it with nobody. You can't wait because you were forced to always share rather than giving that option to say, you know what, this will make a situation better. I want to share with this person. Not saying that's the right answer, but it's like we have to kind of take a second and just question everything we taught. Is it always right? Is there more of a gray area than just sharing is caring?
Yeah, I mean, but as a parent, especially the custodial parent that's there day in, day out with all 4 kids, you have to find that sweet spot and that balance of teaching them to share, making them share sometimes when they don't want to, and letting them actually have ownership of their own things. Like, you mentioned that I don't teach my kids that you have to share all the time. I don't teach them that. But at the same time, there are times when I'm like, Sophia, let Oliver play the thing. Let Sophia play the thing. You weren't even thinking about it. I know it's yours, but let her play with it. Like, and so teaching that balance of, okay, when do you share, when you don't? If you're using it and they want to play it, then you might not need to share at that point, because it's like, no, I'm playing it right now. I don't want to share. And it's okay to say that. No, I don't want to share. But at the same time, if it's something that you're not even touching, not thinking about, don't want, and they come and say, hey, can I play with this? So that's the other thing I teach is respecting boundaries, right? That is his thing. You can't just pick it up and go start playing with it. You have to pick it up and say, Ollie, can I play with this? Oliver, you have to ask Sophie, can you play with the thing? And then once that happens, that's where I get into the whole, all right, y'all got to learn how to share. Sophia, why are you saying no to him? And it can't be just, I just don't want him to play it. It's like, you didn't want it. You weren't playing with it. It's not going to hurt you. It's not like, there's a finite times you can play this thing. So why are you telling him no? So that's the teaching them how to share and when to share versus saying you have to share all the time.
And Ferg, you really brought up some stuff too. Posts like these, where you just have like a screenshot of a text message between 2 people, it really tells us more about ourselves than it does the 2 people that are involved. Because like you say, we start, manifesting our own scenario onto them, because on one hand, she could be completely wrong to where the kid is sharing his game, but the one time that he didn't, the other kids ran and told her, and she was like, oh, you're not sharing? Let me take the whole game. Or the father could be correct that, So we just don't know. But I will say this, at the end of the day, it is her house. The game is in there. The TV that he plays it on is in there. And he has to, so she does get the final say in that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, just even as raising parents, that while you're in my house, this is what you're going to do, is not always the best course of action. We have to realize that we can also make mistakes. We can also be jaded by our own experiences. This is what we're taught. We a lot of times on the show, we try to undo a lot of the learnings we've had as kids. And my scenario, I'm not taking anybody's side. I'm just saying, hey, we have to question some of our automatic decisions. Yeah. Well, this is my household. We had somebody that was saying, poor Shay, I'll give you this shit. He was being disobedient. Like, she gave this guy a whole nother, we don't know the scenario, but we play this out in our mind. And sometimes we have to take a step back and say, okay, what's the bigger issue? Is there a better way to parent this? And Razi, you're right. Like, there's certain aspects of learning how to share, but we don't know enough. And also, is there a better approach? Hey, let's talk about this. Hey, you bought Razi that game. He's not sharing with his brothers. Is causing a lot of contention in the house. We need to talk about this. Have you talked to him about sharing? Like you said, Buffy could have been that one time he didn't share, and it becomes a problem. We grew up around those kids that if they didn't get their way, they're taking everybody down.
Yeah.
Byron doesn't want to share. Mama, Byron ain't sharing. Like, we grew up around. We don't know the situation.
Yeah, and most games these days are one-player games, right? It's not like back in the day where we could like really take turns and have two players and stuff like that. It's like literally, for me to share this game, I have to walk away and let you play it. Like, and that is sharing, today.
And they're not quick games. It's not like Mario where you took turns and it's like, all right, player one. And even then, that was hell. You got that one person that might be playing Mario. It might take them 45 minutes to die. That wasn't fun to share. And it was just, to me, it's not about the game. It's all about, like you were saying, Byron, questioning ourselves. We got a snippet of what was going on, and we created an entire situation, from the father being disrespectful to the mother being irresponsible, having all these kids out, multiple kids out of wedlock, to the kids being bad, to the son being disrespectful. Like, we have created this whole family. Like, we have a TV show about this family. We have enough information and opinions to make a show about these families, this whole family. So that was my question.
I promised the listeners we didn't plan this, but my question is going to seem like just a follow-up to yours, and we briefly kind of touched on it. But so Razi in the past has always said he doesn't believe in gender roles, and I think we all somewhat agree. I had a little pushback on it, but we all somewhat agree with it, and we see where jobs now have, in addition to maternity leave, they have paternity leave now for fathers as well. So everything is changing to where the male parent has just as much involvement as the female parent. My question to you guys is, because I stated it during my answer to Ferg, should our court system look at, when parents split and we're deciding who keeps the kid, it seems like it automatically goes to the woman. Should we rethink that to where it starts off like any sports game where the score is 0-0 and you need to determine who is best? So it shouldn't be the father has to prove that the mother is unfit for him to get him. It should be like, hey, where would this child flourish the most with which parent? So is that something we need to rethink, or you feel like naturally women are more nurturing and that more than likely the child is better off with the mom?
I don't know if Portia actually said that on the show or just talking to us after, and she was like, the kids don't need to come to me with me. And that's like the perfect example of yes, I agree. I think the courts needs to rethink this. I mean, because it really is, fathers may not be as nurturing from a traditional sense. That doesn't mean they're not nurturing. It, like, I think Ferg said it a couple times. It's like, it's not that it's right or wrong. It's just different. Like, fathers just raise kids differently for the most part. And that's because of how we've been raised. And so we raise kids a little differently. But that doesn't mean we can't be actively engaged. That doesn't mean that we can't do what needs to happen to raise those children. And so I definitely agree that the courts need to start rethinking. I don't know, have a checklist, have a check down, have something to say, okay, here's how we are going to, select the custodial parent. And like you said, Buff, it's not necessarily automatically the woman gets it. It's not the mom that's going to get it automatically. It's 0-0. Who does what? Oh, who watches the kids the most? Who does this the most? Like, have the kids say which one they want to go with. In there, and that be part of it. Who is more nurturing? Because you'd be surprised how often that the father is actually the more nurturing or caring person in the relationship. A lot of times it's because the mom has primary kid duty, and so they're annoyed with the kids and they're overwhelmed, and so they're the fussy ones, and so the father may actually be the more nurturing one in this situation. So you really can't just automatically assume that either anymore. So yeah, I definitely agree, man. They need to relook at it, change it, and get rid of that idea that it's automatically the woman and then the guy has to state his case.
I agree with you 100%. And even furthermore, I think a lot of times the parent knows themselves. And sometimes it's an internal struggle to admit the truth that you might not be. And this is the nuance of it. It's not saying either parent is bad. You're right. You know, it's not like if the kids go with dad, they're destined for failure. If they stay with mom, they're going to be a success. It's just saying who is better suited to raise these kids under the current circumstances. Is it how's the plan going to go? You know, what part does finances play in this? You know, if the father's making more money and he takes the kids, is he going to get spousal support or child support? And can the mother afford that? Which I don't think sometimes they take in consideration when it comes to the father. But if you take these things and you become, I really in life have really making a point to try to take a neutral standpoint on things and then go from there and elaborate on both points. I think we would see more things split, you know, and I don't know, man. That's a really good question, Byron. I look at that on so many things when it comes to who gets the kids, how things go in divorce as far as the finances. It's people leverage too many things. Like I personally know people who have leveraged the kids in those situations where now I have the kids, and now if you want to see your kids, you're going to play by this book.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of it too, because the mother might be in a better situation in a regular situation, but because of the way she's going to handle situations moving forward, is it better for the kids?
Yeah.
Do the kids suffer because now mom or dad is jaded and there's not going to be, they don't get to develop that relationship? What is truly best for the kids?
You kind of touched on my answer too, because in a perfect world, kids wouldn't be used as pawns in a lot of this. And a lot of times they are, to do exactly what you said. And the money aspect behind it. Like, you know, if I have the kids, that means I get his money. And like you say, everything gets to be by my rules if he wants to see them or she wants to see them. I do want to say that I feel like everything should be taken into account, not just the money, but like, you know, proximity to school, your work schedule. If you have other kids, you know what I mean? Like, what type of home you're living in, like everything should be taken into consideration to do what's best for the kid. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's not. It would be great if the two parents could work it out among themselves, because I feel like if me and Tabitha ever separated or divorced, you know, because of where I work and the unpredictable hours, more than likely I'm going to say, hey, Jasmine is better off with you, because I can't always guarantee I'm going to be off in time to be, well, she's getting older now, so she don't necessarily need me to pick her up from school. But when she was younger, all that plays a factor into it. So you wish the parents could work it out. And when they can't, you wish that the courts could do it in a more fair and reasonable and updated way. You know what I mean? And not just based off whatever is based off from the past.
Yeah, because I look at some of those like superstar breakups, right, where they're paying like $20,000 a day and stuff like that. Like, who's the girl that is it Bundle of Brittany or whoever it is that
Who?
She just got over on some basketball player.
The rookie.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like she got married, had a baby by him, and then divorced him like months after she had the baby. It's like he's gonna be paying, I think it's like $12,000 a month or something like that. So which isn't horrible, but at the same time, that's a pretty good chunk of change. Would it make more sense for him to just maintain custody? And he could give that baby whatever the baby wanted with a full-time nanny or whatever. And I don't know, build a house or a wing on his mansion and be like, Bundle of Brittany, you can stay here.
I don't think that's her name, but please.
That's like her Instagram handle or whatever. That's the only reason I know of her, because somebody shared her talking like
Because
she was like, "Oh, I got a baby seat in here, but it's stepdaddy season or whatever," because she's already on the prowl for the next guy or whatever. So that's the only reason why I kind of remembered that. Like it stuck out. So yeah, I don't follow her.
yeah,
Right.
You know,
Sure. Sure.
yeah. I mean, 'cause at the end of the day, it comes to what kind of life is that child going to have?
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe the child stays with Bundle of Brittany, but now he or she, the baby, is growing up in a household where the mother is looking for the next stepfather. Is she providing a stable house for that baby? Financially, she's okay, but what is the child learning and stuff like that? It's a lot that goes into that. I mean, I think character evaluations, all that stuff needs to be taken into consideration, and the final judgment, the child should have input. And I think it should be revisited every so often. So you learn to leverage. I mean, you learn not to leverage. So like if you're doing this, you get the child first, and the judge sees these things. Are you getting your visitation? What challenges are you having?
I like that.
On either level.
I like that a lot.
Either level. It's, well, he only pays this. He doesn't come see the child. He doesn't want to do anything outside of the bare minimum. Well, you know what, ma'am? Keep doing what you're doing. But hey, Your Honor, look at these text messages, these group, like, I cannot see my child if I don't do this. Look at this and this. And it's like, well, ma'am, are you causing a rift between you and the child, the father and the child? That's not helpful. So we're about to move it over here, you know? And by the way, let me see your pay stubs.
Now you both said let the child have input. Is there like an age limit? Because, the child, depending on the age, can be easily influenced. Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure on the child too. I think in science, I mean, there's psychologically, there could be a test where they don't understand what's going on, where they are asked a series of questions, not just saying you like mama better or daddy better. It's like, who does more of this? When I say this word,
when this happens, who would you go to?
Yes.
For this?
When I say this word, you give me 5 words when, what are the first 5 words that come to your mind when you say dad? What are the first 5 words when you say mom? Like there's some kind of test I feel that can be formulated where you're saying, okay, based off of this child associates these 5 things with dad, these 3 things with mom. Here are some negative things about mom. Here are some negative, because at that point the child really doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I think right now at 12 they have say. So the courts have already put that in place, but I think even younger than that, you need to be able to have some say in it.
Because I think, but then also, because I wouldn't make it a who do you want, because at that point the child feels obligated. I think a lot of times to go want, most times,
and they're going to feel bad for the parent that they didn't choose, right? They're going to feel like, and they shouldn't do that. So I definitely don't think it should be a, put them in the middle and let them go to the one they should go to type thing. Have both parents like, come on, Susie, come on.
Get the PlayStation game.
I'll also say this too, guys. A lot of it isn't going to change until we normalize fathers having custody of their kids, because a lot of times when both parents decide that, hey, it's better for the father, we actually have a friend. I didn't get permission to speak on her about this, but we have a friend now whose daughter lives with the parent because of the work schedule that her job requires her to travel. And she's dealt with the whole, what kind of mom are you? You know what I mean? Like almost a stigma, like you're a bad mom because you don't have your kids.
But if it was a father,
and it plays a part. Exactly, it plays a part in that.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing. This even goes further into your question. Should the mother feel obligated?
Exactly.
To
keep the
have
child.
To take care of the kids.
Yeah, because that's the other part about it is so many mothers fight for custody because of society telling them they should have custody, not necessarily that they know they're the better parent. Sometimes they know the father's the better parent, or that's going to be better for the child, and they still will fight for custody because they don't want that stigma.
So we got to definitely normalize
vice versa.
that.
Fathers might not fight as hard because they already feel like, hey, we know where this is going. So
basically, as a father, if she's not a crackhead, I'm pretty sure that I'm not getting it. So I'm not about to spend $5,000-$10,000 trying to fight for custody of this child. Like I got a homeboy that like his wife his ex-wife or baby mama wasn't even, they weren't married, but like she was damn near a crackhead, like almost there. Like he had enough proof to be like
crackish.
Yeah, she was crackish and still didn't keep the child. So, you know, it's a tall order to actually get them to say, yes, you the father can have that child. And at one point, I have another friend that literally the child is over 12, said they wanted to stay with the father. Father had the child for multiple years, and the court still gave the mother custody.
Can we go deep, or how do we want to go? I got some questions now. Like, Razi, it's coming toward you.
Let me go turn off my chicken and gravy off my crock pot. I'll be right back.
After these messages.
That boy got all kind of stuff going on over there today.
We're making a volcano for Sophie.
Sophie looking for a charger because one don't work. Ollie talking about his back broken.
Ollie need a bacchiotomy.
Oh, man.
Oh, how's your chicken and gravy?
Oh, yeah, it's good. That was the alarm. I don't know if y'all heard the timer go off about 5 minutes ago.
It just made me hungry, though. So, but go.
I'm making some beef stew right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's wintertime, man. That's going to be part of my parting shots, man. It's like, yes, crock pot meals and everything. Woo, loving it.
So, Razi, this is going into you. So let me know if this question doesn't make you comfortable. So in your situation, I think even in the beginning when Jen passed, people were just so worried, could you do the job?
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke on this before. Yeah. And let's say in an alternative world, things were different. You could be just as good of a parent. And Jen was an awesome mom. I know that. But your kids are still thriving. They're still, so this conversation is like, do you think you would have had a fighting chance, or did you think you deserved the chance? Because a lot of times we don't feel like we deserve the chance, or we're taught to think we can't do the job. And you're doing a great job. I see the kids all the time. I was seeing the kids quite often, and they're thriving.
Yeah, for me, it's very difficult because Jen was such a great mom, right? To be like, yeah. I would fight for it, because I probably wouldn't, right? It's like, you keep the kids, you're a great mom, or whatever. I wouldn't, because I had to adjust my life and my schedule so much in order to be able to continue to, keep them thriving, that I wouldn't have thought I'm going to adjust myself like this or adjust my life like this so that I can keep the kids. So I probably would have let them. Okay. But again, that's going back to the parents knowing which one. But I do think that I felt like I was a good enough parent even before that I would have had a fighting chance in my mind, but I would have known that the court wouldn't have seen it that way. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have had a fighting chance at all in the courts. Yeah, but even then, like your situation wasn't the norm because Jen was a stay-at-home mom, right? Mm-hmm. So if in most situations, both parents are working. So at some point, one of the parents, the custodial parent, which I think is part of the challenge for any custodial parents, they have to adjust their life to be a parent who keeps the kids. It doesn't have the benefit of having that other parent there consistently. Not saying they're not helping. It's just like, especially if there's distance or anything involved. So, in most situations, guys don't feel like they have a fighting chance. And like I said in the beginning, most people question the fact that you could even do the job. Mm-hmm. Which kind of goes back to why I didn't feel like I would have a fighting chance in the court, is because they question, can you even do it? When, I talk about me having to adjust my life to be able to be there for the kids and everything. Jen would have had to adjust her life to, oh crap, I got to go get a job now. Like I can't, child support and maybe spousal support. She probably would have got spousal support. Wasn't going to pay for an entire lifestyle for her. So she probably would have had to go get a job. And so there may have been some conversation about who can adjust easier and better in that situation. And it might have been a conversation of, I can adjust my schedule. I can work from home. I can do what I'm doing and be the primary custodian. And then, You can be flighty and, be the, I mean, I hate to say it, the hippie that she was. She could be the hippie.
Bro, they're called blippies, bro. Her and Z, blippies.
Oh, blippies. Okay.
Black hippies.
Yeah. So, she could be the blippy that she was and come in and out and still spend time with the kids. Because I could see something like the kids stay at my house, but she picks them up after school, hangs out with them, then brings them back to the house so that she doesn't have to maintain a larger house, multiple bedrooms, that type of stuff. I could see us having that conversation and where I end up being a primary custodian if we separate it. So, it's that conversation that has to happen and the communication. And that's the part that so often in breakups doesn't happen because everybody's pissed at everybody else, right? They can't communicate. The reason why they can't stay married or stay together is probably the reason why they can't be co-parents. Like, I think we had that conversation. And so that's all it is. It's that those folks aren't compatible. And so that's what makes the custodian part of it even harder.
All righty. There's so much to be said on this. I got so many scenarios, but that's what's up, Razi. What do you have for us?
Actually, man, I mean, we're hitting time now. I'm good with maybe taking 5-10 more minutes if we got anything else to talk about on this one, and then we can just wrap it for the day.
Okay.
So I have my answer on this. What do you guys say to the possible pushback? Well, that would favor if a man, let's say you have a wealthy man that gets a woman pregnant and he wants custody and she doesn't have the resources that he has. So when they go to court, he has this built-in advantage. How do you counter that advantage if he has all this money to have a lawyer that can make the best possible case and she literally has nobody but her word? But she's clearly in this scenario, she's clearly the better parent and the kid would be better off with her. How do you counter that or respond to that, right?
I don't know what makes her clearly the better parent. I mean, is this guy just really,
just hypothetical.
This guy just a bad parent.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're gonna have some one-offs. Some people are gonna slip through the cracks, just the same way that so many people slip through a crack and just assume the mother's gonna be the better parent all the time. Like the reverse could be, she can be a sucky parent. He could be a better parent. He just happens to have a lot of money. And the reason she's having this child, the reason she's doing this is because she wants his money. And he's forced to lose his child, pay her all this money. And that doesn't happen every day. We're not having, what's your girl's name, Razi?
Bundle of Brittany. Brittany, I don't know her whole name.
We hear that all the time because of the world we live in, but that's not an everyday occurrence. There's not chicks getting over every day, getting pregnant by niggas that make millions of dollars that I know of. It happens, but it's not as much as Tyrone and Jaquisha. If we have any Tyrones and Jaquishas are having baby mama problems, a couple issues. My bad, I just threw names out there. But we see more of those the norm. So, hey, you win some, you lose some. Unless the child is in danger, we don't know what's going to make a better life for that parent, that child. He might not be as nurturing, but he provides a better life, and that child's able to get a great education, has great support, and
huge network. Going to things, being like there's something to be said to be able to say, my kid, this weekend we're going to the aquarium, next weekend we're going to the art museum, the weekend after that, like those things. Like, money provides access, and so having that access to those different things every weekend is a big deal. Where we don't talk and cuddle up on Tuesday nights as much because I'm super busy, but weekend is yours and we out doing things together. And so, there's that balancing act there.
I think that, like I said, it's a one-off. I mean, it's going to happen. It would happen, but the other happens just as much, if not more. So, and Razi, you call that what, September? The what you just described, the aquarium and the in the art museum.
Well, the art museum isn't here until October, actually. So so shout out Van Gogh. The Van Gogh experience is coming to Birmingham. Super excited about that. So yes, but yeah, I mean, I do. I try to make sure every weekend there's something on their plate that they can say we did something for them, because I know that I don't get a chance to spend as much time with them throughout the week, because it's like work after work, some type of activity after that. We got homework and everything, so there's not a lot of time to just chill out and be a family. So I try to make it as special as I can on those weekends.
Yeah. So, and I'll leave with this, Byron. One parent might be a better parent, and that's all, debatable. As long as neither parent is going to be a bad parent and that child is going to be endangered or suffer from that, then such is life, What's your response?
I agree. I would say first, I don't really care that much about a woman taking advantage of a rich guy by getting pregnant, because at the end of the day, if you got money like that, it's on you to be responsible. So if you're gonna go out here and raw dog chicks and ski at them, that's on you. I mean, so what if she's trying to come up? You played a part in that role. You skied it in her. But the other thing is, I think even if you have this ultra wealthy guy that's able to get the lawyers and stuff, I mean, hopefully, we trust our judicial system to a certain degree. Hopefully the judge will see that, yeah, you have all this money and these resources, but when are you ever going to be there for the child? You traveling to Hong Kong and overseas, 3 times a month. And when you're in the States, you're traveling, you're always on the go. The child needs a more stable lifestyle. It's with the parent, even though you have all this money. So that's just the hope. But ultimately, it comes down to what you said, Ferg, that, hey, not every decision will be the perfect decision. And some people probably will fall through the cracks. But it doesn't mean that we don't need to update and look at and revisit how we look at who the child winds up with. It shouldn't be automatically one parent or the other. It should be who has the best situation.
That's what's up. Let's go ahead and hit these parting shots, fellas. What you got for us? Who's going first?
A couple things real quick. I talked about the Van Gogh experience that's coming to Birmingham, Alabama, but it goes nationwide, and it's a pretty cool little art exhibit. So for anybody who, I think it may be going to Mobile at some point. So take a look at that. You say no, it's not going to Mobile. So take a look at that. It's a really cool thing that's happening. I think it's coming in November, actually. So into Birmingham. So anybody who's in Birmingham, check it out. Get your tickets for that. It's going to be really cool. And I don't know if you guys have been watching Titans, but we might as well rename that the Robin Show because man, it is so good. But I'm super excited. They introduced Tim Drake.
I haven't started the next season. What, season 3?
Yeah, season 3. It's I think almost done. And they are doing a really good job of bringing Tim Drake in. So I'm really excited about that. So go check that out if you haven't. And that's all I got. Other than that shirt. Byron, where'd you get that shirt, man?
Well, no, for real. Check out 3brothersnosense.com. We got a ton of new merchandise on there. It's not just 3 Brothers No Sense stuff on there. Like it's on our website, but we have all types of designs. So check it out. Click on 3B merch and find you some. We got hoodies and sweatshirts and whatnot. And like Razi say, fall is coming. You're gonna need that good stuff. I'm brief with my parting shot. I just want to congratulate. They've both been guests on our show before. Annie Baraka De La Cruz, I know her as Kristen, and Orange Moon, whose real name is Sean. They just launched their podcast, Crescent Cuties, and they're going to be doing it every other Friday. So they just did it this past Friday. So look for them again 2 weeks from this past Friday, and check them out. So congratulations to you 2 ladies. We wish you the best. Don't forget about us when y'all make it big. Make sure y'all bring us up with you.
Exactly. That's what's up. I saw that. I'm proud of them. I'm very excited to listen to their show. I know it's going to be pure comedy. But real quick, I don't have much to say. Razi, I actually there's 2 Van Gogh experiences. I actually bought a ticket to one and had to miss it. So thank you for the reminder, which leads me into my next thing is I want to wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday. She will turn 34 on Wednesday, and I just added that to my itinerary for this weekend. So thanks for the heads up, but love you, babe. Happy birthday. 34 and still hot, so keep it going. Anything else, fellas?
Nope. Happy birthday, Z.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Oh, one time for Jacksonville State University. For for knocking out that's not even
Florida
Jacksonville,
State.
Florida. Jacksonville,
Yeah,
Alabama.
Yeah, they're in Jacksonville, Alabama.
It-
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was Jacksonville, Alabama until last week.
They've been,
Yeah,
they're- This is
Neither
the
did Florida State.
first 0-3 start. Like it's bad, bro. It's bad.
Hey, it can't be any worse than Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers
Well, that
decided.
38.
But at least Aaron Rodgers, like he didn't give a bleep, man. He was just,
He didn't.
whatever. Sure.
Yeah, so but no, fellas, great show. Three Brothers No Sense. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you next week.